You ruined your friend's baby shower? Did you announce your own pregnancy? Did you ask to take some of the gifts? I don't know what it could be. But I guess we're gonna find out. Happy Apple Picking Day! Just some quick reminders for our new friends. If you want a chance for your stories to be featured on Am I the Bad Apple, you can send them to my subreddit, r/AmITheBadApple. And just a little reminder, we all come from different branches of the apple tree. And what that means is that we've all lived different lives. Then those lives have shaped our perspectives and opinions. So you're not gonna have the exact same ones as someone else. And that's okay. That's why we talk about all of our perspectives and our opinions down in the comments in a nice, civil, friendly way. And sometimes you might learn something new. Sometimes you might teach someone else something new. Sometimes you guys teach me new things. None of us are ever too old to learn something new. So without further ado, let's get started on this week's episode of Am I the Bad Apple? Let's go apple picking. Apple number 1. Am I the bad apple for hurting a bunch of kids' feelings? Let's call my daughter, 12 female, Jenna. In February 2023, Jenna got told she had scoliosis in a C shape at 80 degrees. I can't really describe it to you, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look it up. But it's very, very painful for her at times, and it's only gonna get worse. So my husband and I had a long talk, and we decided she's gonna get surgery because the doctor said if she doesn't, she's gonna be in a wheelchair by her 13th birthday. That's not the life that we want for her. She's been absolutely crushed thinking that she's gonna fall behind in all her activities like Taekwondo and Girl Scouts and other things where her friends are gonna keep excelling and she's gonna be in recovery. However, after talking to her, she agrees that she really wants this surgery as well. Fast forward to about a week before her surgery, Jenna comes home from Girl Scouts very upset, and when I tried to talk to her, she said the troop leader of the Scouts said that she was gonna take the entire troop to come visit her in the hospital. Jenna was crying over this because even though her troop is only 5 or 6 people, she's only really friends with 2 of them, and she doesn't want the others to see her in the hospital like that. She doesn't even want my husband or her little brother visiting and seeing her like that. Just me, because, I'm her mom. I told her she absolutely doesn't have to have anyone there that she doesn't want, except for me, of course, because I'm her mother and I will be there. But she's so worried about them showing up unannounced that she started throwing up just from all the stress. I've talked to her and she's not even nervous about the surgery. She's more worried about these girls just showing up. I don't know what to do. I keep getting emails from the troop leader on what days she should take the girls to see Jenna, and I do think the troop leader's just being nice, but I can only imagine what she's saying back to the other girls about me telling them no. I mean, on the other hand, Jenna's gonna be on serious medication, and the last time she had major surgery and was on these same meds, she was angry. She cussed me out with words I didn't even know she knew. I told the troop leader that no day is gonna be good, and now she's just texting me asking me when she can bring the girls to the house so they can have meetings at our house since Jenna will be out of school and activities for a month. I said, no, Jenna needs to recover and take a break. And I didn't say this out loud, but I at least thought that she's stressed and nervous enough about her surgery without having to wonder if these girls who might not even like her show up. But now I'm worried that the troop leader's gonna go back and tell the girls I said no, and is that gonna hurt their feelings? Are they gonna care? Are they gonna be upset? Why do they even want to come over so bad anyways? Jenna says they're not even friends. I don't know. Am I the bad apple? No. I genuinely don't think the girls, if they're really not friends, like I don't even mean like, oh, they're just not close, but like if you're making it seem like they do not like each other. I have a hard time believing these 12-year-olds are like actively like, I want to go see Jenna, I want to go see Jenna. I think the troop leader's just trying to be kind and inclusive. I cannot imagine these 12-year-old girls are really trying to take time out of their day and go to the hospital to visit someone they don't like. So either they like Jenna more than both of you realize they do, or the troop leader's just being nice about it. But regardless, like, the primary concern here is just Jenna's recovery, right? You're her mom. Why are you worrying about the other kids? Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be considerate of people and their feelings. I'm saying that you, as a mom, should not be reconsidering doing what your daughter needs for her own health and recovery because it like might make other girls feel unincluded. Like, who cares? They're not your kids. Like, this is your priority right now. And it's so funny, I guarantee you I'm gonna have someone in the comments like, that's such a hypocritical answer. You always say to include people and blah, 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 and think of others' feelings. I don't feel like I should have to explain that, like, when your child, I'm not even a parent, y'all. When your child, your family member, your loved one is, like, medically suffering and needs, like, to just not be around people, you, like, am I gonna hurt their feelings though? I don't think that should be a concern. I just don't. At all, in the slightest bit. Like, the only flags that are getting raised in my head is, like, feeling bad about it. Because I wouldn't feel bad about it, let me tell you. If, like, my mom was having surgery and she was like, I don't want your grandma coming in here and fussing over me. Like, sorry, grandma. Let's go to a vending machine together. No. I might feel bad if it was a grandma. She's just worried about my mom. That's a bad example. If the neighbors came to see my mom in the hospital and they were like, we just worried about Michelle, I'd be like, that's too bad. Diane, I'll see you later. I had to think which neighbor I was gonna use. I didn't want to use the one we don't always get along with. That might have been too much. So I used the one we like. We like Diane. Diane would never overextend like that. She cool. Anyways, I'm going good apple. You go, mama. You stick your ground. You tell those kids, stay away. Apple number 2. Am I the bad apple for purposely doing a bad job at work? I'm a photographer and I was taking pictures at a family wedding as a favor. I was being paid about half of what I normally charge and I was fine with that. The bride's my favorite cousin and her husband is amazing. During the formal photos, the wedding party was great and I got a lot of wonderful shots. When it came time to take pictures of different family groups, however, people were jerks. They wouldn't stop talking, or they kept looking away from the camera, and I tried politely reminding everyone that the camera was the big black thing on the tripod and it took still images, not videos. But I was repeatedly told to shut up and stop being a smart aleck, and they knew what a camera was. My cousin was delighted with the pictures from the ceremony and the formals and the reception, and she laughed her butt off at the family photos. In about half of them, people were looking off in all directions, not at the camera. Half of them, people just had their mouths open because, again, they were talking and I just took the photo. She thought they were hilarious and her husband agreed. Well then, I started getting a bunch of crap on my social media from my family about the photos. I replied that I tried to explain to them that the camera was the big black thing on the tripod and it only took still photos. They said I should have waited for them to be ready. So I just started posting little clips of them being jerks while I was taking their photos that I had my wife take. She recorded the entire thing. Well, then my mom said that I went too far and they won't ask me to take photos for them again. I did a fake cry and said, boo-hoo. She called me a smart aleck too. Please let me state that I don't think I'm the bad apple in this situation, but a lot of people do. They're upset because they don't often dress up and get together and they don't get good photos and I ruin the opportunity from them. So I just want to know what you guys think. Am I the bad apple? There's like a whole thing with people who like go to other people's weddings assuming to get like their own little photo shoot. Like, that's annoying. You're not paying for the photographer. So the photos of you are not the priority. Like, know why that needs to be explained to grown adults. Like, I would never go to someone else's wedding expecting that like, oh, this is gonna be my new headshot photo. No! And if the bride and the groom and the photographer are gracious enough to prioritize photos of you at their wedding, then cooperate. Be ready to go. Oh, well, you should have waited for us to be ready. No, it's not on your dime, it's on theirs. And if they have a timeline and they have a schedule, they're trying to stick to it. It's not all about you. It's not all about the conversation that you're having with Gladys over there. If you want the photo so badly, then be considerate of the people whose event it is and who's paying for those photos. Because I certainly wouldn't expect them to go behind schedule at their own wedding because you can't take 30 seconds to be still for a photograph. Come on. I know toddlers that can sit better still than that. The question is, I did a bad job on purpose. Well, it's not that you did a bad job on purpose. You just didn't sit there and get behind schedule to wait for these people, and I don't blame you. If the bride was super unhappy, I might have some different thoughts, but the bride wasn't. The bride and the groom paid for your services, and they were happy with the services they received. That's all that matters. No one else's opinion matters. No one else's thoughts. No one else's anything. And if they're that concerned about getting their own photos that look good and look the way they want, then they can pay for them. So I'm doing good, Apple. Apple number 3. Am I the bad apple for leaving my siblings home alone? I, 13 male, have 3 other siblings. 5 female, 3 male, and 2 male. My parents work during the night and leave me home alone to watch my other siblings. And this system's worked well for the past year until my 5-year-old sister, who we can call Alexa, started acting differently. She started throwing tantrums when she doesn't get her way, and she even once punched me in the face and gave me a black eye. I told my mom this, and she always says the same thing, that Alexa's 5 and you're 13. She just doesn't know any better. Well, one of these days, I was watching my siblings, and I told them that it was time to go to bed, and the others agreed, but Alexa had a full-on outburst. She started breaking things, even tried to break the TV. I mean, luckily I stopped her, but then she just ran out of the house. Keep in mind, it's like 9 p.m. and pitch black outside, so I was able to chase her down, but at that point, it had already taken 10 minutes. Well, here's the thing. My grandparents only live 2 minutes away, and I'm supposed to call them if things get out of control, but in my defense, this is a very stressful situation, and I forgot to call them, mostly because I didn't want to get in trouble for yelling at Alexa. Well, I forgot my parents have a Ring camera, and I guess all the noise and the movement alerted it, because my dad has the app, and I suppose they saw it all go down. The next morning, they called a family meeting and asked me what happened that night, so I told them Alexa ran away. They started screaming at me and brought up the fact that my other siblings were home alone for 10 minutes. And they also brought up that I was being irresponsible by not calling my grandparents, and that yelling at Alexa wasn't the way to go about things. They said that I should have remained calm, because showing that I was stressed made Alexa more wild, and they said that I was grounded for a month. So I went to my grandma and I told her what happened, and she was able to get me out of trouble, but my grandpa disagreed and said that I should have called him, and said that at my age, I should have had things under control. Well, everyone's disappointed in me, and it's making me think that maybe I didn't handle this right. I don't know. Am I the bad apple? I always say we don't make assumptions on stories because we don't insert facts. And I'm not going to. It's just every time I read stories from kids, and this is something that only adults will really get. As a teacher, it can be very hard for me to want to pick stories from 13-year-olds just because I know stories that I was told as a teacher by 14-year-olds that ended up being not even close to what actually happened. And I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm just kind of using that as I'm not gonna go piece by piece into all the things that went on in the story because I'm not going to do that for this one. I am going to say 2 things though. The first is if a 5-year-old ran out the door, my first instinct would also not be to call the grandparents. My first instinct would be to run out after her and make sure she's not in the middle of the street or make sure she doesn't get kidnapped. That would be my first instinct too. The other thing that I'm going to say about this story, again, I'm not inserting facts or assumptions or changing anything. I'm just not going over every single thing in the story. I'm just the 2 main takeaways that I'm taking from it. That was the first one. This is the second one. If the parents want their children to not be home alone without adult supervision, they need to stop leaving a 13-year-old child in charge of the others, because that's not adult supervision. Saying, oh, well, grandma and grandpa are down the road, and if you need something, just give them a call. Because let's be honest, if a real crisis is going on, like one did, no one's first reaction is gonna be, oh, well, hold on, let me make a phone call. When you're living in the middle of crisis, and I'm saying this as someone who has lived through medical crises and big things in the moment. Being 2 minutes away, that makes a difference. That's a problem. If you want to make sure that your children are supervised, then make sure an adult is supervising them, not a 13-year-old. And if you can't do that, you can't get mad when the 13-year-old doesn't act just like an adult would. Because remember, they're not an adult, they're 13. So the question is, am I the bad apple for leaving them home alone for 10 minutes? No, because I would have done the exact same thing. What's worse, having 2 sleeping children in their beds alone for 10 minutes, or a 5-year-old running outside in the pitch black for 10 minutes? By yourself. Yeah, I would have picked the same thing. So maybe that makes me dumb too, I don't know. But I'm going good apple. Apple number 4. Am I the bad apple for ruining my friend's baby shower? I, 29 female, have been friends with Claire since high school. We have a small group of friends that have all stayed close since then. Claire is pregnant and had her baby shower yesterday. I wore a cute little white and blue floral dress, and I didn't think anything of it because as far as I know, white is only inappropriate for bridal events. Well, when I arrived at the shower, Claire's mood seemed to immediately sour and was very cold towards me. Later, one of my friends pulled me aside and actually asked me to leave. She said that Claire was offended by my attention-seeking behavior and that it was inappropriate to wear white to Claire's event, so I left. I was really confused. I mean, like I said, I thought the white rule only applied to bridal events. Our friends are refusing to take sides, but a couple have told me that I should apologize even if I don't think I'm wrong. So, am I the bad apple? Do I take the don't wear white to bridal events very seriously? Yes, I do. And that is also an inside joke between me and my brother. It's fine. Literally, let me tell you, I was maid of honor a couple weeks ago at my friend Sarah's wedding, and I was like looking around, ready to spill some red wine, okay? I was ready. It was unnecessary though, but I would have done it. I so would have done it. But a baby shower? I've never heard of there being like any color coordination. Like the only thing I can think of is like maybe if it's a boy, the mom's gonna wear blue, and maybe if it's a girl, the mom's gonna wear pink. But like that's the only thing I can think of. And anytime I go to a baby shower, do I try to wear anything specific? Sometimes I might wear blue or pink accordingly. Not always. Literally, there are some dresses that I saved in my closet that are white that I specifically am like, oh, what are events I can wear these to? I can wear them to dinners, I can wear them to baby showers. Like, white's only for the bridal events. And like, yes, I think that should be respected for the bridal events. I've never heard of any time it's about me, I'm the only one that can wear white. Am I missing something? Am I dumb? Are y'all about to educate me on this? Let me know. But until you tell me I'm wrong, I'm going good apple. For sure. Wait, did I get all good apples? Oh my gosh, we got all good apples! Oh, honey bunches. That's so sweet. Did you get anything similar to me? Did you get the same thing? Did you get something completely different? Definitely let me know down in the comments. And for your well wishes today, we got a lot going on today. It is National Dimple Day. Gosh, I wish I had face dimples. I really do, they're so cute. But I don't. So if you do, congratulations. Today's all about you. Wear white. It's also Cow Appreciation Day, so if you live on a farm or you live near a petting zoo, go give those good boys and girls some little head pets. Just a little good cow. And if neither of those apply to you, don't worry. It's also National Sugar Cookie Day, so go find you a sugar cookie. As always, if you want a chance for your stories to be featured on Am I the Bad Apple, you can send them to my subreddit, r/Am I the Bad Apple. And thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope to see y'all next week. Bye bye, lovelies. Mwah.